Hey Zelda, how are you? Thank you so much for bringing me here to just kind of speak on what's happening with the current moment with the coronavirus and also kind of like the impact of coronavirus on the travel industry. My name is Justa and I'm the founder of Curious in Tanzania. I will kind of share my perspective in how the coronavirus or the current situation that's happening is how it has impacted our business, but also what I'm hearing from fellow tour operators and also travel experts. Um, so what I will explain a little bit of my background. I spend my time in two places at the same time. So 6 months I'm in Tanzania, and then the other 6 months I'm also in the US. Reason being, I am in Tanzania during the high season from June all the way to like February. And this is the time we kind of like taking guests throughout their experiences, and I'm working on my team, and we're trying to make sure like the guests have the best experience. And then when it comes to like January, February into June, I'm usually in New York City or like in United States, and this is the time for us, or for us as a company, this is the time we usually go out and network with people, and this is the time where we go to like expos, travel fests, anything that has to do with like just networking and meeting people and talking to them about Tanzania, or like in this case sharing and selling them Tanzania. That's how my schedule is, and I'm currently in New York, and that's the schedule for last year. That's all I'm supposed to be doing, just kind of getting future travelers to come with us. But with Corona happening and then the placement of like social distancing, it makes it very challenging for us to be able to meet, just like how it was prepared previously. That was part of my marketing strategies, is like you network, you meet with as many people, you get their information, and then you reach out to them, you propose different experiences, and that's how people are able to buy. But with social distancing, it has affected us in terms that we cannot be able to attend all these events. The other thing that has affected, of course, the guests who have booked, usually our guests actually have a booking, they book from like 6 months to a year in advance. So like a lot of our guests who booked from last year, they were looking to start traveling this March all the way to, let me say, by now until people in August, because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know the current situation changes day to day. So like we not exactly sure when we could say, okay, by June things will be safe and you could be able to travel again. So we just have to play it by ear. So like a lot of some of our clients have canceled their trips, and we have talked to them through the whole experience, but they decided to kind of like hold back to see what's going to happen next. And then we have a lot of clients who actually were like, you know what, I really, really wanted to go to Tanzania, and my dream is to go, and I was ready, so I'm just going to postpone it for like another date. When everything becomes a little bit safer, then we could be able to kind of like reschedule and go. So that's the kind of what I'm getting from like our clients. Some clients are thinking about postponing, and then some clients are like completely with fear, of course, of the unknown, and maybe their money will be lost and all of that. They're deciding to kind of like cancel for now. So that's very challenging, especially when you kind of plan out your whole year and you know exactly who you're going to be bringing into the country for that year, but then this happens. It's kind of like holds you back, even with the airlines canceling. With now the hotels, I have to reach out back to all of them and tell them, hey, these guests are not going to come, but although I promised them already, but of course they know the conditions, so they cannot be able to come during that time. With this whole thing, how do I stay motivated? And it's a very challenging time to just think, with everything happening, everything canceling on a daily basis, to just think like things are gonna be brighter. But of course, I am a person who's very proactive, and I am not like a reactor. So like I always think ahead, and I am a person who is as a creative, you always have to think ahead, and you create and then you present it to the people who are interested in doing whatever that you want them to do. So I stay motivated in terms of like just thinking of the future and planning for the nearest future, or even the future. So some of the things that we are working on, and just this is also to keep the clients also motivated at the same time and also inspired and wanting to travel. With our social media, we share various stories from our guests who have visited previous years. So like every Tuesdays we'll post up like a video that showcases a journey of a certain client, so people could see themselves in there. And this is kind of, it's also in the means you could look at it as virtual tours. So somebody is taking a journey through their to the other person's experience and kind of like seeing themselves there, because everybody's on social media right now and everybody's talking virtually, so that we find that as a great thing to do. And the other thing that I'm doing is kind of like just keeping hopes with a lot of people and communicating one-to-one with my future clients or even my past clients and checking up on them and seeing how they're doing, which is very helpful in terms of like relationship building. So like I am just working on just being a person and just leaving the company apart just slightly a little bit, but making sure that I communicate with my potential clients and also my future clients or even my past clients to just check up on them and see how they're doing. So that has been helpful in terms of like being human and just staying in tuned. For the other thing that I do is like, let me say, this is back to virtual, like social, Facebook. I love Facebook and Instagram. So like I usually do like dance. I usually come on camera and just dance, probably like a tribal dance, just to get people connected and people to just kind of like, hey, just for like 3 minutes or something like that, think you're somewhere else and you dance like any type of dance. I usually do. I love higher dances because I'm higher myself, so like I love dancing music to drums and to like even go to suku. So like I do like these various virtual activities that people could get engaged and still remember that we are going through this journey with like everybody, and we are always there for them. So that keeps me motivated and wanting to do more, and also their reaction and their comments of what they say. Yeah, personally, this is a very interesting thing. So personally, being on lockdown for almost a week now or 2 weeks, what I do is I wake up early in the morning. I go running. I probably run for probably like 45 minutes to like an hour, just to kind of like start off my day with like high energy. And then when I come back, I do have my breakfast. I do have my breakfast at my home. I have prepared my desk, my work desk, where I know this is work time because I'm working from home. But then the other thing that I do is I get ready. I love to just kind of like feel like I am going into an office, and I make sure like I feel comfortable. I feel like I'm ready for this. I'm ready for today. And but even by your looks, it will make you feel more motivated and energized to wanting to do the work that you're actually working on. And then the last thing that I'm doing right now is just trying to reach out to my clients for like end of 2020, 2021, planning out their trips. I'm talking to them. I'm trying to find out what are their most interesting things. So like when I'm curating their trips, it's more personable. So like I'm taking this time out to be able to communicate with a lot of my clients and just kind of connecting one-to-one. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. Oh boy. So thinking about after Corona, I think, and I've also been speaking to like a lot of my friends within the travel industry. So we think that when things subside or when things go down a little bit, I think everybody is ready to go out and connect and travel and not take advantage of like, hey, and like this time we'll kind of like show them like people really need to get out there and just see the world instead of just holding back. So I believe like people will be traveling all over again. The fear will still be there, and of course we have to guide them better with like different precautions that they have to take. But I believe people will be ready to travel. People are ready to travel already, and they are getting inspired day by day through like social media and what people are putting out there. So like as I think as a tour operator or as somebody within the travel industry, this is the perfect time to be able to speak to your audience and share your company story and share your journey and be able to embrace or like be able to be there for like a person who needs to kind of like needs your touch of like probably even advice. So like I believe this is the perfect time to be able to communicate with people and to make them feel comfortable to travel again and to let them know that you are there with them and you're going through this journey with them together. And that's how I look at things, and that's how I stay motivated, is because yes, this is happening. Yes, travel is not happening at this current moment, but in the near future, it's gonna be there, it's gonna happen, and you're gonna wanna travel. And guess what? If you wanna travel and have a great time, I am here to kind of guide you along, and please reach out to me anytime you feel like it. So that's the key thing right now with social distancing, with people always having, we have this virtual, being able to speak to people virtually and having virtual meetings and just kind of like having people's attention because everybody's inside their homes. I feel like this is a perfect time to kind of be able to share your story. Yeah, so that's what I think about it. Oh boy, when it comes to my travel enthusiasts, we all love to travel. I love to travel. I want to go out and just kind of like see the world. But I would highly encourage you to listen to what your local governments are saying. If they're saying to stay home and not to travel and create the social distance, please do so, because it's not only for you. Maybe you might be the healthiest person, but probably think of your parents, think of your grandmother, think of your brother, think of probably your child. If you go travel somewhere, then you come back to your home, you might end up bringing that particular, you might end up bringing the virus to them. So think of it like that. Be cautious of your travel. And yeah, and of course the sanitary guidelines that they're giving us to wash our hands, sanitize, and all of that, take precautions of that. But highly recommend for now, until like our local governments tell us what else we could be able to do, virtual travel. Share your experiences on social media with everybody, tell them how a great time you've been having, but stay home for now. Stay home or stay in a safe place. And we'll be able to travel again. So that's just my belief. And yeah, I could talk on and on. I'm such a talker. But I love everything about travel. I love traveling to Tanzania. And I will share with you guys one of my goals. And I've made it one of my goals. I want to travel to every corner of Tanzania. I want to understand what it's about Tanzania that like I just want to share with the world. I want to understand it more. So that's one of my goals. And the other goal is I want to make sure everybody in New York City, when you talk about Tanzania in New York City, you definitely have to mention Curious on Tanzania, or somebody has to bring you to Curious on Tanzania. So that is my gift to my country, Tanzania, being a diaspora, coming from Bukoba, Dar es Salaam, into New York. I want to delegate my time here to be able to share more about what Tanzania is all about. So yes. So hey, this is Justa, Zelda. It was really nice speaking with you. I hope this information is helpful to everybody. And if anybody is looking to reach out to me, please reach out to Curious on Tanzania at every kind of media, Instagram, Facebook, and all of that. But it's Curious on Tanzania, and I'm Justa. See you later. And of course, I'm speaking from my apartment. Hey.